was a white lawyer there, I don't know if he was representing Koko or what, who said to Seleka, you are speaking nonsense. And Seleka brought that to attention of Zondo. And Seleka said he even used a swear word. Zondo said, no, you can't do that. He even called them to the office, said, let's adjourn and let's meet in my chambers. Because it was a white person insulting a black person.
With chairperson. And I think...
I can't hear. I said he's talking nonsense, yes.
No, Chair.
Sorry?
No.
I'm not going to get involved in this type of nonsensical argument with my learned friend.
No, Mr. Berry, that's not very collegial.
Yeah.
It's not very collegial to say this. Let's try and focus on the work. Mr. Seleka, you wanted to?
Yes, I could continue, Chairperson. He uttered a swearing word. You did, Mr. Berry. Yeah, there you go. Just repeat it again to the chairperson. That's what he said.
Mr. Berry.
It was so vote, Chair, and I apologize to my learned friend.
Yeah, it's not. Let's adjourn and let me see Mr. Berry and Mr. Seleka in my chambers.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we are going to adjourn.
When Dalimpofu refuses to be undermined by a white woman and says to her, shut up, we are told for the first time that Zondo is in charge. I'm in charge. He couldn't say that to a white person. He couldn't say to a white man, I'm in charge. He couldn't say to us, I'm in charge. But when Dali challenges a white madam, Zondo tries to impress whiteness. There's nothing woman about that white woman who was just being arrogant and racist. That Dali dealt with decisively. And Zondo, instead of telling the lady to sit down, he tells Dali to sit down. We know that once there is someone objecting, you can't stand up to object on an objection. You sit down until a person finishes objecting. Even if he speaks nonsense, you listen. From there, he sits down, you stand up, you raise your point. But her white arrogance wouldn't allow her to sit down. And then she stood up and then interrupted Dali. Dali told her to shut up. We are told, no, Dali's undermining women. But Dali said the same thing to Praveen. He said, shut up to the racist Praveen. So there was nothing about Dali undermining women. He spoke to these two racists the same way. And that's how they must be spoken to, by the way. Racism is violence. When you meet it, you must cut the head properly.
Chair, can I just explain the question?
Okay.
Mr. Moyani makes allegations.
Chair, I'm on the floor. Really, I can't stand this.
Okay,
This cannot
okay,
be happening for
okay.
the third time. Ms.
Mr.
Leroux must shut up when I'm speaking.
Mpofu, let me
Okay?
just hear before I hear you. Must you just hear?
You too, Mr. Koda.
Mr.
So,
Mpofu,
if,
just sit
I'm
down,
still
let
on
me hear her first.
the floor. You also shut up.
No, Mr. Mpofu, I'm in charge here. Please sit down. Let me hear first.
But I'm still
what she has to
talking,
say.
Chair. She butted in.
Yes, but she had not
So
explained.
why must I
and
sit
want
down?
to explain. I want to hear her explanation, then hear you. Then I'll.
But Chair, I'm
that
still
will be more.
speaking. Why must I be the
Yes,
one
but
who
Mr.
sits
Mpofu,
down?
I'm in charge here. I'm saying sit down.
Well, Chair,
Please. I'll hear her and then I'll hear you.
Chair,
This Ms. Leroux.
maybe then we should leave, because if we're not allowed to speak
I'm
and
telling you,
we allow interruptions.
You are going to be allowed to
No.
speak.